So here we are again in an extremely hot day. You're probably seeing me in the same clothes of my recent video because I just did my review of my 2024 Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sport. Make sure to check that one out if you haven't seen that yet. But today we're going to be focusing on my 300L Rally and the exhaust. And if you've been here on any of my rides I've done with this bike, you all know that that Black Widow exhaust on this motorcycle drives me absolutely nuts because it is incredibly loud. Imagine riding with that all day. It's annoying. So today we're going to install the Leo Vince, if I'm saying that right, their exhaust on the 300L, because I've been hearing a lot of people online state that this is one of the quietest exhausts you can get for this bike, keeping it close to the stock sound. And I'm sure many of us out there are saying, dude, why don't you just put your stock exhaust back on? And I get it. But I have done the airbox mod here and then the opening up here. And I also have the 550 stage 1. And the guy from 550 said, if you go with these mods, highly recommend you, almost like a must, to have an aftermarket mod, a full pipe going through. That's the reason I have it on there. And trust me, those mods are incredibly beneficial on this bike. I did a review on them. Go check that one out. So let's go and start off by seeing what all we get in the box. And as you can see, this thing is packaged incredibly nice. You got all that foam around it and they're locking it all in. Very nice. There is the exhaust, and we'll just pop it open while we're at it. As you see, we have the black one. Now, just to be clear, Leo Vince, if I'm saying that right again, they did send this out for coverage here, but I'm going to give you my straight up feedback. We listened to that stock one. We'll listen to this and we'll see the differences. It has the baffle in it there, the carbon fiber, and this one attaches via the spring to hold it in when the Black Widow bolts on. Anyways, further down in here, we have register your product, a bunch of stickers, little cardboard barrier, and then down here we have our pipe. And I want to show you guys this. I looked at this already. I just popped it out. I didn't actually open or anything, but you can see the curvature of this is definitely, let me angle the camera up here a little bit and you can see. So it locks in right there and comes back. It's definitely not as dramatic as the Black Widow goes whoosh and comes up right there. You can see this one is definitely a whole lot more subtle, which I think the exhaust is going to be a little bit lower as well, but you don't have that big bend right there. So the air should flow a little bit through this pretty good. And this is definitely thicker, like holy smokes. When I get this off, we'll do some measurements. Anyways, what else is in the box here? We have our bracket. As you see right here, it's actual real carbon fiber as well. Over here on Black Widow, it is a metal one, so that's pretty cool. Save some weight. You actually got a spring puller to pull that spring. You always know that's always a stinking pain. We have our manual right there, and then our extra brackets. You can stick a gasket, and then the spacer, your spring, and then again, your mount. So first things first, we have to remove the Black Widow exhaust here, and I will take my heat shield off, and that will be going on the Leo Vince one as well, just for my bag protection. But once I get this off, we'll get some weight comparisons from the Black Widow, the stock one, and then the Leo Vince one. And we'll also do some measurements because, again, these pipes are looking quite thin over here on the Black Widow compared to that Leo one. We'll get the measurements there. Also, I want to call something out on this Black Widow, and I've used many Black Widow exhausts before. They're great exhausts. They're just extremely loud. Even with the baffle or the extra sound dampening thing in there, they're just unbearably loud. But anyways, on this one, on my 300L Rally, this little weld point here actually came off. So that was a bit of a stinker. And right along with that, I actually had this exhaust on it before, which is also Black Widow. It's the longer one. And I also got the black one. And you actually see the paint started peeling off it there. So hopefully that doesn't happen on this Leo one since it is the black one. But again, I just wanted to mention it. Again, with all the Black Widow exhausts I've used on multiple bikes, I haven't had a great experience this time around. So now that I have all the exhausts off here, I want to do a quick weight comparison from the stock, the two Black Widows, and then the Leo one. So taking the stock one on, which is, oh my gosh, it's incredibly heavy. I don't even have the, let me get that balanced on there so it's fair. I don't even have the shield cover. That's just a plastic piece, whatever. This is 10 pounds, 5.5 ounces. Oh my goodness. Now, give or take a little bit of that from the dirt on here, but this thing is one lofty beast. So let's check the one that I just took off. This is one of the shorter, or this is the medium-sized Black Widow exhaust. Now, of course, I don't have the bracket on there, but we are coming in at 4 pounds, 15 ounces. So we're seeing like 6-pound difference from the stock just going to this one here, of course without the bracket. Now this one over here is the bigger Black Widow. This is the longest one that they sell, and the bracket's on this one, so take that into account here. Putting that on there, we're getting 7 pounds 2 ounces. And even without the bracket, you can tell this one is quite a bit loftier, definitely closer to the stock weight. Now with the Leo Vinci one here, I hope I'm saying that right, we are getting 4.9 ounces here. So let's compare it to the one we just took it off again. Again, 4.9, and we're getting 4.15. So these two are pretty darn similar, but I can tell you, the Leo one does feel a little bit lighter. Maybe it's just because it doesn't have that extension. Now I want to give you some quick measurements before we actually install this exhaust, because even when I was unboxing the Leo Vince one, it's just like, in the hand, it's like, oh my gosh, you can just tell this thing is so much bigger. So let me give you the measurement of the stock one. Now the gasket's in there already, a little exhaust gasket, and we're at a little bit over 1.25 inches right there. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. So it's pretty small. And then this is the Black Widow one. This is the goes to the header pipe this way, and this goes up into the exhaust here. So looking at this side here, we're actually underneath 1.25 inches. Holy smokes, it's actually smaller than the stock one. I did not know that. Now on the out, it opens up quite big there to get to the exhaust, but you can see the inner pipe's still pretty small. I did not know the Black Widow one was smaller than that. That's crazy. I wonder if that's why it was so loud with that air getting compressed in there. I wonder if that's why it was so loud. Anyways, looking at the Leo Vinci one here is a little bit, it's like right at 1.5 inches, maybe a pinch over 1.5 inches. And you can see it goes right into the back of the exhaust, bam, right like that, which also over here where it's going to attach to the header pipe on the bike, you can get that measurement right here. Again, a little bit over 1.5 inches, but you also have to use this little spacer because it's too big. So once you put this in there, it'll go over the exhaust header pipe on the bike, and then you're going to cinch that down. That's how big it is. So I'm going to go ahead and install the exhaust now. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You attach it there, attach this, get your bracket on there. I'll show you it all at the end. I'm not going to bore you through the installation. Again, it's very simple and straight to the point, and then we'll actually get some sound tests with it. So as you can see, the exhaust is now installed, but I want to point out a couple things of installation. Number one, it fit incredibly easy. Again, you bolted the bracket up there. You have a little spacer right here. So then the pipe, since it is significantly bigger, it really clears everything as far as the bar back here, the frame, and then the box. It just clears everything perfectly fine. It does have the spring that holds it, but I did put some exhaust paste in here. Not sure if I was supposed to or not. Every other exhaust I've done did exhaust paste, so I just slapped some on here just because that's what I've always done. Coming up here into the bracket, which is carbon fiber, the only thing I didn't like, you got this, so again, it's this carbon fiber bracket I just saw in the unboxing bit, and you got these two little tiny bolts that hold that together there. So I don't know, I didn't really like that. Whenever I tried to tighten them, it actually stripped a little bit there. So it's just another 2 points I got to look at. So you got this point here and those 2 points there. Again, as far as loosening up over time, if any. But again, it does attach by this main point up here. So those, I guess, are just kind of security measures. But again, just extra things to worry about. Coming up here to the heat shield, again, this isn't included, it's just something I put on. And as you're noticing, from our bracket to the exhaust, you really only have the one position to put it, towards the end of the exhaust. If you put it up here, it's going to be hanging over and again resting and vibrating on the carbon fiber. Not going to be good over time. So as far as a heat shield, you can pretty much only place it on the back portion of the exhaust. Now just a quick look over of the exhaust. As you can see, right up there to the front, back by the passenger foot pegs, rolling back behind the bike. You can see you do have that clearance back from the tail light. Swooping around here, you can see it a little bit better like that. So I don't think heat's going to be an issue. And I think it looks pretty darn good on the Rally. But of course, the biggest concern here, for me at least, is acoustics. Is it going to be quieter than that Black Widow one, which I don't think it's going to be hard to beat. That thing is incredibly loud. I want to be, again, more around that stock sound. And then, of course, we'll go for a ride and see if we notice a difference since those pipes are any bigger. But my main concern, again, is sound. Now, of course, every exhaust needs its braking period, and that's where the real life comes to town on it. But I will tell you, compared to stock, it does have a little bit more bass. You can feel that or hear that kind of burble, not necessarily a gurgle by any means, but definitely a burr, 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 burr for that burble. Significantly quieter than the Black Widow, but it's not as quiet as a stock one. You still got a little volume there. Bring it back here. One thing you can notice is as far as the exhaust coming out, you feel it coming here. If I put my hand on the back fender, nothing, and then underneath it, nothing, and nothing up on the taillight. So as far as heat, we're not gonna have an issue. It really comes out perfectly in that position there. But as far as riding position sound, this would be it. Over here, the mic is on me now. Let's say if we're cruising at 5,000, 6,000, and I just ended that on 7,000. So again, you still do have that exhaust sound, but yes, it is significantly quieter than the Black Widow, but louder than the stock. I'd put it kind of right in lower than the halfway point from the Black Widow, because that thing was just incredibly loud. So big time improvement there. Now, one thing I will mention as far as this exhaust, as you see, we have the black version here. It also comes in a stainless version. And with any off-road bike, I would always recommend you going with the stainless version, because you can see even me just mounting the heat shield that scratched it right there. But any twigs or branches which you're gonna hit, again, it's gonna show those scratches a whole lot more. So I would recommend you going with the stainless version. So here we go for the ride test. And I've been out here riding a little bit right now, just coming on live here with you guys, and there's a couple things I can notice that make a big difference and a few mild differences. But again, I want to get you guys on here too, and you know what, we're gonna go on and jump on a quick little stint of some single track. I'm gonna pop my visor up so we don't have too much wind coming in here, and then you can kind of hear the sound and the noise. Oh, you know what, I better close my visor a little bit because I don't want to get whacked by these bushes here. But at least this is pretty much a sound test, so you can hear me on and off the throttle and see what it sounds like. Okay, let me lift it up just a pinch for you. I gotta lift it all the way up. That's halfway in my vision. I think it's the first time I've done single track with these tires. Oh. Okay. Leaving my visor up here so you guys can hear it might not be the best idea. I'm gonna get my eye poked out with one of these shrubs. Ooh, okay, that's a little busted out there. Oh, whoo! Okay, almost whiskey throttle right back there. I think that sand kind of slowed me down a bit. I get down here, and this is incredibly sandy out here, so I'm not able to really get on it. Ooh, whoo! Get on it too much. Okay, I don't want to get on the side of that. Okay, we got some rocks here. All right, let me get off this before I lose an eyeball. Woo! Okay. Gotta close my visor back. I'm getting mud flung up in my face. Whew, that is incredibly sandy back there. Wow, very wishy-washy. But anyways, just listen to it right there, and you can probably, hold on, okay, I had some sand in my mouth from that. So what you're probably noticing with the sound is whenever I'm really getting on it, you hear it right now. You can hear it kind of elevates and gains up those decibels as you go. But like right now, being at 50, or even when I was just on the highways coming, I was around 60. So again, example, I'm getting up there, let's go to 55. And I'll just sit here. I mean, you barely hear it. I honestly hear it, or hear my tires, more than the exhaust, especially when I get up towards 60. Right here, let's get there, 60, and I'll just stay right there. Again, I hear my tires in the wind more than the exhaust, when before all I would hear is the exhaust constantly. It was so annoying. Now the other thing I noticed, let me go on and slow down here a little bit. I'm going to go down to 4th. So I'm in 4th, shifting at 7,000, and that's where I noticed a difference in power, right there. So I did 4th to 5th, all at 7, nice linear flow right out of it. But when I wanted to go up into 6th at 7, it almost felt laggy. Like when I go to 8,000, it comes out of it really good. Hopefully that makes sense. So again, we're right out here to 5th. I don't know how this road is. I don't want to, whew, that's a serious washout. And then when you come out of it right there, if you're more around 8,000, it has a more natural flow and pure flow with that throttle response. Now again, as I'm talking this stuff and the exhaust and all that, understand again that I have those mods on this bike. Again, the air box, the extra big, whatchamacallit, I don't know what it's called, and then the stage 1. So some of those are going to play into it as well. And talking about, do I notice a big difference with this exhaust on as far as power? I mean, I don't have a dyno tester or anything like that. If Leo Vance has anything, or Leo Vinci, whatever, has anything on their website, I'll throw some pictures up. But as a user, again, noticing a difference, that's what I think is more important rather than graphs and numbers. And with the mods I have right here, no, I don't notice a power difference or power improvement. The only thing as far as power that I notice, whoa, mercy, this road is so washed out. The only thing I notice as far as power is, again, going 5th to 6th. If I was to change gears around 7,000, it almost wants me to pull it to 8,000 to get a nice transition from gear to gear without feeling laggy. Again, if I shift before that, it feels pretty darn laggy. Yeah, very nice going like that, pulling it out to 8. Again, this is going to depend on mods that you have bike to bike, right? Of course, weight of the person as well. But as you're noticing throughout this entire test, I don't know if I can open my visor. I don't want there to be too much wind. Yeah, there's going to be too much wind if I open my visor. But anyways, the biggest and most beneficial improvement for me is the sound, right? The weight savings is fantastic as well. I was already saving some weight as is, but the weight savings is hands down beneficial. But most importantly, I believe, for my situation, since I ride my bike to a lot of rides, you know, 4 or 5 hours on the road or whatever, I don't want it to be just banging in my ears, and that's what the other exhaust did. It was so incredibly annoying. But this is like, I'm just riding through the woods. If I'm off the throttle and just letting it go, I mean, it's manageable. Like right now, it sounds like stock. I mean, this makes you enjoy the ride. You can enjoy nature. You don't got this dang exhaust just rumbling in your ears. So there we go, the Leo Vinci. I totally botched that throughout this entire video, I'm sure. But anyways, as far as this exhaust, I love it. The only thing that I would probably recommend if you're looking at picking one up, as good as the black one looks here, I would recommend you go with the stainless one, because again, you are going to notice scratches coming up it, and then whenever you wash it, you get dirt on it or branches, you're going to notice those scratches. But the sound, you can hear it idle, It's manageable. It looks good. It's lightweight. I think it's a complete win. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments, and I hope this video was able to help you out. If it was, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.